Tribe. So this is a video series on the empowered eating sabotages, and there are 7 of them in the series, and this first one is on perfectionism or all or nothing mentality. So what I'm finding with a lot of my clients, all their current behaviors around food actually stem from something from their childhood, and it's one of these 7 sabotages and the reason why they sabotage their current results. So the perfectionism or all or nothing mentality might show up as procrastination as an adult, or I won't start a nutrition plan because I know that I'll just mess it up. Or that all or nothing mentality, oh, I slipped up on my macros, so therefore I'm just going to continue binge eating and start on Monday. I talk to a lot of clients, and you might be in this situation where you go, oh, I messed up. It's okay, I'll start Monday. And Monday just keeps rolling around, and a new Monday and a new Monday. And I'd hate to tell you, your body doesn't actually know when Monday is, so you can pick up straight away. Then another one is that all or nothing, where they actually outsource their validation to other people because of their childhood. They haven't felt good enough, and then they outsource their self-worth to other people. So if they don't get that compliment from the boss after handing in their piece of work, they get really upset and they might go home and binge eat. Or another one is the saint syndrome. So that is that you look at all the other people and say, oh, I'm better than them because you condone their behavior. And I had this one when I was bodybuilding. It was, oh, you don't eat tuna out of a tin. You just can't do that. And I'd look down on anybody that ate tuna out of a tin. So there's little things like this where we're the saint, and if we put other people down, then it makes us feel better. And this comes all into that sabotaging behavior. And this is what it shows up as an adult. But then we're going to look back as to where does it show up in your childhood, because all of your behavior is coding. Now, it is coding from the ages of 0 to 7, and then you spend the rest of your life backing up this thought and belief about yourself that you found when you were 0 to 7. And those sabotaging behaviors that you have now are just a kaleidoscope of evidence that you found at 0 to 7, you had a thought and belief about yourself, then there's something in your childhood, something in your teenage years, and something in your early adulthood that just backs up all this thought and belief about yourself from the ages of 0 to 7. It could be coding from your parents. Let's say that your parents had really, really high expectations. And I found with one of my clients, her parents taught her and her siblings that they must be the good children. So whenever they went to people's houses, they did all the washing up, they set the table, they did everything right. They said their pleases, their thank yous, and it was drilled into them that they were to be the polite kids. Now that meant that they have people-pleasing behavior, they have perfectionist behavior, and as an adult, my client would sabotage her own results because she wasn't good enough. She people-pleased all the time, and she was outsourcing her self-worth to other people, all because there was this perfectionism mentality from her childhood. Another one is you always want to get good grades. If you were a child and you reached the top of your class all the time, and now when you're trying to eat in a healthy way and follow your macros, and you're sabotaging your results because you're not reaching the top of the class, then unfortunately you will sabotage your own results by binging or binge shopping or any of those unresourceful behaviors. I'll be the first one to say that I had that perfectionism or that all or nothing mentality. And to give you a little bit of an idea where mine came from, it came from the ages of 0 to 7. My biological father left when I was a 2-year-old, and I was abandoned. And because I was abandoned, I made this thought and belief about myself that I had to be loved. So if I was perfect, everybody would love me. And obviously I wasn't perfect enough because my biological father left. So then I spent the rest of my life backing up this thought and belief that I had to be perfect. I was a straight A student all through junior high. And then when I got bullied for being such a smart kid and actually being a square bear, I got bullied even further, and therefore I thought, well, I'll turn into the party girl and I'll be the best possible party girl ever. And I drank and ran amok and partied nonstop all through my TAFE diploma and all through my early adulthood because I was going to be the best or perfect party girl, and I'd get everybody excited about going out and running amok. So from there, that you can see is that belief about self that I have to be perfect. And then the last straw, which was in my late 20s when I did bodybuilding, that is that pursuit for happiness and perfectionism, and I was to be perfect because I had the perfect body standing on stage. Now, all of that just is exhausting. I can promise you it is exhausting. And I was outsourcing my self-worth to someone else to say whether or not I was perfect. And if I messed up, I would binge out of control because it's that all or nothing. And for a perfectionist, nothing is ever good enough. It's the same as that saint syndrome. Nothing is ever good enough for the saint because they are perfect in everything they do, and they put down other people just to make themselves feel better and look good because they're the saint. So these are all things that could be part of your coding. And if we can unravel your coding, then I can unravel why you're binging. Another one would be similar to one of my clients. Her mother would always brag to her friends how well her kids were doing. Yet at home, she actually used to berate them. So it was putting them down and telling them they weren't good enough, they weren't good enough. Yet she'd turn around to her friends and brag about the achievements that my clients had had. And that just, it doesn't make sense. But then that is all about that coding. And then you don't feel good enough, and therefore you sabotage all your results because it comes back to I'm not good enough, I must be perfect. I must be perfect for mum to love me. I must achieve this, and this. Again, so mum would love me. So all of this is your coding, and you either do it well or you don't do it at all, or you must be perfect for everybody to love you. And if this is some of your coding, then it's what you need to break through to actually stop sabotaging your results. So I'm going to share these videos every week with you, and I'm going to go through the 7 sabotages and why you can't have an empowered relationship with food, because it's to do with some form of coding from your childhood. So I'll go through the 7 sabotages in the next couple of weeks. Tune in around this time and I will be sharing all of the 7 sabotages, and hopefully I can get you to break through so that you can have an empowered relationship with food. You deserve to have an empowered relationship with food, because when you're no longer thinking about food, you can actually go on to be the woman that you are designed to be, whether that be an awesome mother, a wonderful career woman, boss chick, or just show up authentically and beautifully for your partner. Any of those kind of identities that you are designed to be, you can step into those spaces because you deserve it, and because you've worked on all your sabotages from your childhood to break through from emotional eating. And I'm standing here saying it is possible. I did say that I was binging pretty badly in 2010, and I haven't binged since 2010 because I have worked on all my sabotages. And I'd binged on and off, taken laxatives, done some pretty crazy crap to my body, binge drank on my teenage years, all of those things that, yeah, I was in your position. I don't stand here going, I've always been perfect, because again, what this video is about being perfect, and I certainly wasn't perfect, and I haven't been. But I can stand here and say, if you work on all your stuff and all your coding from your childhood, you can break free from binging. I did it, and I know you can, and I'm here to empower you to break through your binge eating behavior. I hope this video has helped. If you like what I'm sharing, please comment below, share it with someone that needs this, because the more I can get this message out here, the more I can change people's lives and break them free from their emotional eating so that they can have an empowered relationship with food. Take care, tribe, and I'll talk to you next week.